Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Ceremonial Witch back with another Ceremonial Witchcraft recording episode, show, whatever you want to call it. So, my last recording was some quite time ago, and I just want to state that this is becoming kind of an outlet to release the stuff that I can't talk about with other people because I don't want it to f up my processes, my magic, my rituals, and all that. So on top of just being another voice to tell people, hey, this stuff does actually work. I'm not an adept or don't have millions or the exact life I want, but going through the process of this very moment, I have been able to manifest things and have been transforming my life. So these are kind of like my almost like diary entries, right? I do write in a diary, and you should too. So I just want to expand a little bit on what I was talking about last time with the meditation. Doing something. I highly recommend and also do meditation the old-fashioned way, sitting down, laying down, and whether it's visualizing on a point, or visualizing or staring at a point on the wall, or visualizing something specific in my mind. Not that I don't believe in, but I don't particularly practice the meditation where you just take everything out of your mind. Like I said, I like to focus on one thing and only keep my mind centered on that one thing. And as it keeps trying to talk about new topics or thinking about different things, I gotta keep bringing it back, which is highly essential. However, I like to do the meditation the other way, as in keeping my conscious mind busy with something it knows how to do very well and putting on something in the background, such as YouTube videos and or books about occult knowledge. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, and how time is important to this process. Now, people get into this stuff and they'll watch a magician or a witch's channel on YouTube over and over again, binge watch all in the same day, and then go out and buy candles maybe the next day, maybe the same day, and try a ritual right away. And it may or it may not work. Once again, if you have specific planets in specific places on your astrological birth chart, you may have success right off the hop. You may have to do things right away, and you may not, and everywhere in the middle as well. So I want to get at when I started my first manifestation, which I'm going to talk about the very next video, because I want to get into specifically how I do my manifestations, the different rituals I do and how I did it and what worked and what I manifested. So that's what I'm going to be getting into the next video and the videos after that, give people a way how to do this stuff. And this way they can try it for themselves. But when I started, I was the same way. I wanted to manifest stuff right away, and I believed in the law of attraction. And that belief in the law of attraction actually got things attracted to me, and I actually manifested things. And that's before I started the book, The Kabbalion, but I haven't read it completely to the end yet. And between that and the law of attraction stuff on YouTube, I went down and and wrote down what I wanted to, and I wanted to see if I could do it. But the point I'm trying to get at today is time. And with the time that you are doing this stuff, okay, you do need to have patience. And that's why the Kabbalion should be read, or you can get the PDF version maybe for free online. I'm not going to tell you to do that, but that's what I did. And you can, if you have an iPhone, anyways, I know you can get it to read to you. So if you are doing the dishes and have headphones or a radio where you can plug your phone in, you can literally let that book read to you while you're doing that. So you'll be doing the dishes, which is kind of repetitive, and however you want to look at it. If you want to look at it, it's keeping your conscious mind, you're consciously aware you're doing the dishes, and your subconscious is getting all the information in behind you. Or you want to look at it as because you're doing the dishes, and that's something that got programmed in your subconscious mind how to do, that your subconscious is one doing that while you're listening. It doesn't matter. Either way, the subconscious is going to pick that up, and you're going to also hear the information, which is why I say it's kind of another way. It is another way of meditation. And that is something I've been doing now. Fucking, like I said, I'm like right on the borderline of the 2-year mark, I want to say, or just over the 2-year mark, that I've been delving into New Age, occult, esoteric, witchcraft, ceremonial magic stuff. And there hasn't been a day gone by that I haven't listened to stuff about that. If I have to do something like, I'm going to a baseball game. My son plays traveling team ball. Stepson plays traveling team ball. If we're gone somewhere, I'm reading a book. I'm listening to a book. You know what I mean? And my wife gets kind of upset because I'm there with them, but I'm not really there, is how she puts it. And once again, it's because I'm doing this stuff with them, but I always have this stuff on the background, so it sinks in that much better. But the point is, I have chosen to not watch TV anymore. Now, I will go to the movies or watch a movie with my wife if it's just me and her doing something, because she is still in that way where she likes to sit down after working all day and watch TV, and I'm not going to tell her she shouldn't do that or take that away from her. If she enjoys that, then great, but I'm not going to subjugate that. So for the last almost 2 years now, I have not been putting any TV shows, movies into my mind. I still listen to my songs, even the ones that I don't prefer or think the message isn't right for my brain. I don't want the messages in my subconscious, but I do try to limit it a little bit. But anyways, so that is huge, because where I am right now, my manifestations are coming pretty quickly. If it's a big manifestation or a big amount or something huge, yeah, it's going to take some time. But if it's something small, it happens instantly. We were driving home the other night from Ottawa, and my wife didn't have the brights on. And I remember thinking, God, I wish she would turn the brights on. Should I tell her? Should I not tell her? I ended up telling her anyways. But before I told her, I probably thought of us possibly hitting an animal. Now I was thinking deer or moose, but an animal coming on the road, because we were taking a side road home and not like the main highway. And sure enough, she had a fucking raccoon. And okay, coincidence, whatever. I don't care if you think it's coincidence or not, and you think I'm full of shit, and you think it's just a story, but it's not. My fucking, the wheel well where the rubber is completely on the inside of the front fender, and it's the front part of where the driver, would be in front of the driver, but there's a plastic there. Anyway, it's probably to protect the engine from, because we're in Canada, we get snow in the wintertime, and that means there's constantly water on a hot engine, because it constantly melts because the engine gets heated up. So we have those to protect from rust, blah, blah, blah. Well, that bitch is gone. She hit the fucking raccoon, which I don't like, because, I was 8 months into the New Age stuff and just getting into ceremonial magic when I decided to give up meat. So, and the main reason is not because I didn't like it, or, it's mainly for the animals. I don't believe we should be killing animals. And the other reason is your body doesn't need or can take in some of that stuff. Now, I don't want to get into all that, but the point is, I'm not trying to be mean or insensitive. We had a raccoon, and it's just I can't speak today. An example of something, a manifestation, and how fast it can happen. I thought about it 3 times until I said turn on the lights. After the lights were on, I shut them off and forgot to put them back on. I probably thought about it maybe another 3 more times after that, and then we fucking hit a fucking raccoon. Like, my God. So, while you're doing your studies, while you're getting into this, if you're not getting into this stuff and you don't have any interest in this stuff, well, I don't know why you'd be listening to me. But if you listen to me, then you're getting interested in this stuff. And if you have trouble sitting down and reading and, doing this stuff, well, just put headphones on and listen to the goddamn books. It's pretty simple. On YouTube, the Kabbalion, the whole audio book is on there, free of charge. And that's going to go through the 7 hermetic principles, which are the laws that you need to know. Whether you know it or you don't know it, it doesn't matter. But those are going to be the laws of how our very existence was created, but how your magic has to go through those laws. If you're trying to do something that's against those laws, then it will not happen. So it's a good thing to know. Also, the book for the ceremonial magic that I did is the same from the Mystery School from Frater Xavier. And it's Kabbalah and the Great Work of Self-Transformation, which he says in his Mystery School series on YouTube, which you should totally check out. And between the book because it's a whole curriculum from the neophyte, which is your initiation grade, whatever, and then the air, fire, or earth is first grade, but all the grades are there. What to do, how to do it, what to say, what to wear, what to watch, what to read, blah, blah, blah. It's all in that book, and that's what I'm going through. So those two things you should put together, and if you're one of those people that say, I don't have time to do this, well, I'm guessing you're one of those people that does dishes and mops the floor and washes the car and sweeps up and vacuums and does chores, right? Well, while you're doing chores, why can't you put headphones on? I mean, you're clearly listening to this right now, so you can listen to those things. And the more you subjugate yourself to that and stop watching and listening regular programming that, reinforces the programming you had put in you as a small child, the better and faster your magic will come to you. I wasn't a super strict Catholic or raised super strict, but I had Catholic programming in me. And, I started doing things to break it specifically only about 5 or 6 months ago, putting in sigils in my subconscious saying, I want to rid myself of that programming, just to make sure it was all gone. But just by listening to a cult every day, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and fake. So by listening to only that stuff and not listening to the stuff that, talks about God and Christ and you need a house and you need to be pretty and fit and, things putting in subliminals into your mind or whatever, by not watching that anymore and only putting in what you choose to put in your mind, you're going to empower yourself. This stuff is going to be reassured in you. So when you go to do your magic, it's going to work twice as good, 3 times as good. It's going to come fast. You're going to think about hitting an animal and you're going to fucking kill that animal, which is terrible. Which means, I really got to watch what I think about, And that's where that self-transformation part comes in. I mean, if you're somebody who's, a narcissistic person or has terrible thoughts about hurting himself or others, well, yeah, you don't want to do this. And in my opinion, people that are like that aren't going to be drawn to this because whether it's your guardian angels, your higher self, your ancestors, whatever spirits that are around us are not going to put you to that. They're going to try to get you somewhere to fix those problems first. Hopefully, they're going to send you signs to get better before you come to this. Now, doesn't mean it hasn't happened. There are some pretty dark people on the internet saying some pretty dark stuff on YouTube, how to kill your boss and this and that and the other thing. And, any adept, sure, probably could actually get those manifestations to happen. I'm sure it certainly has happened. But I don't really think that, everybody in that dark place is going to find this kind of knowledge. And it should be the person putting out this knowledge who is responsible for trying to make it only found by those people, whether it's putting in the right tags and putting an age restriction on it or making a fucking servitor to only direct certain people to find this knowledge. Whatever the case is, it is our job to do that. Their job to do that. And I have done some of those things. So that's how I believe you should be reprogramming your mind. You got to get rid of your limiting beliefs that you have that no longer serve you, your belief systems. Identifying them, writing them down would be perfect. Okay, that's what you have something to work with. And then, you just put this information on in the background where, without a doubt, you're listening to people that believed in this shit 100%. They say we're the sum total of the 5 friends we hang out with. Well, if you're at home and you're listening to 5 people, make it 5 magical people. Somebody about witchcraft, somebody about magic, somebody about esoteric occult philosophy and Egyptian magic and whatever. The shit you listen to is going to reflect in your life. The things you put in your mind is going to reflect outwards. As within, so is that without. The law of correspondence. I mean, there's correspondence to tarot cards, to the planets. There's correspondence to everything. You're going to find those correspondences. This stuff's going to filter through you and manifest into your life. Now, you should read those books, listen to those books, however you choose to do that, and start doing your magic. But it does take time, and it is subtle. This stuff doesn't just light comes out your fucking hand, and lightning's coming out your eyes, and you can fucking hover and float and all that. No. But when I pick up my phone when it's on the charger, I can feel the surge of energy on my one hand, and if I touch something metal with the opposite hand, I feel the vibration in both hands and going from one hand to the other. I ask my wife and my kids to come feel it, and they can't fucking feel it. And I thought I was crazy until I made